Well, sorry for the delay, everyone, on this live view of our chances for rain and thunderstorms here. Had a couple of technical issues pop up, but hopefully things are fixed now and we can walk you through what we are dealing with today. We've had some storms overnight through this morning. We've been covering those all morning long, and that continues. And we, in fact, have severe weather risk continuing for today. So again, it is a first alert weather day for today. A reminder that we are watching out for storms. We're watching out for heavy rain as well coming up for this afternoon or later morning and into this afternoon. So let's get right to what we're looking at here for us in the valley. We are talking about, I'm going to pull up these graphics full so you can see them a little bit better. A severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect until 1 o'clock this morning or this afternoon. Goodness, I'm so used to saying this morning. And that includes places like Sisseton, like the Roberts County area, also included in that. So that is places like Rossholt, New Effington, back over into Traverse County in Minnesota, the area in the Wheaton region as well, seeing the severe thunderstorm watch for you. And so we're watching out for severe storms there. I'm also keeping an eye on conditions that are going to be on the unsettled side for us in the northern reaches of there. Now my graphics are once again not working. Let's see if we can get this to move along here. Looks like we're a bit locked up. I'm going to clear my computer here and see if we can get this iPad to work again. And it is not working. Wonderful. Okay, so we'll just talk over what we've got here, and then I'm going to try to reboot the iPad, and we'll get into more details here if things can roll along here a little bit more smoothly coming up. So again, so we're looking at that severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 1 p.m. We have had some severe thunderstorms issued for that area, and there have been some reports of some damage. I believe it was on Dry Lake or the Willow Lake area. I'd have to go back and look, but there was a report of a boat in that northeastern part of South Dakota on one of the lakes there that was capsized thanks to some stronger winds. A couple of reports of some strong wind gusts in that area, and that's my greatest concern for storms today. We're also watching out for some hail and the potential for some heavy rain too. So lightning, of course, always a danger anytime we have some thunderstorms as well. So all those things we need to keep in mind for those areas getting some rain and thunder with today's event. Let's bring up, sorry guys, I know this is a hassle. We'll bring this up hopefully full for you in just a second with the next alert that we have in place, which is a watch for flooding. We've had some flooding going on. Bemidji area has had a flash flood warning earlier on. That's canceled, so that's good as the waters went down, but it has affected a lot of places with the heavy rain that we've seen here. And there we go, we're working. Oh, great to see. Okay, hopefully we can keep this going now. So again, we have a couple more watches and alerts that are happening here. We're also looking at a flood watch. This includes southeastern North Dakota. It includes Lakes Country in Minnesota, back through Bemidji and Wadena. And this is starting this afternoon through tomorrow morning. We do have the flash flood concerns, but also river flooding could become an issue in some areas. Some of our streams may be seeing those rivers rise thanks to the heavy rain we've gotten so far with this system. And then in the wake of this system, watching for some air quality issues, air quality alert in the northwestern corner of Minnesota. I am seeing some reports of air quality dropping in this area as smoke moves in behind this system into the northern valley. And again, a reminder that it doesn't suddenly get better in North Dakota. We just don't have air quality alerts in the state. So we're likely seeing some issues with air quality there as well. Okay, so here's a look at our risk. We've got a marginal risk. That's a level 1 risk for severe weather in this deeper green. It includes those areas in the watch, stretches up through places like Otter Tail County, Becker County, up through right around Bemidji and down toward Wadena. Wadena is actually right on the edge of the slight risk, which is a level 2, more elevated risk here. And we are including the Alexandria area, parts of, again, that watch also included in this slight risk. If you're traveling down I-94 to Minneapolis, your risk is a little bit greater for severe storms heading into midday and into the afternoon. Light green means non-severe storms, though we may still see some storms and rain and then lesser chances for that up in the north central part of the Red River Valley. Again, so we are tracking these chances for rain and thunder. You can see the latest radar here. We are looking at that first line. It's really cleared out. I'm going to try to step out of the way here. It's moved over toward Duluth now, so it's really kind of raced off to the east. And then we've been watching another round lifting in from the southwest. So places like Roberts County, like Traverse County, starting to see this line move northward. No current warnings, but we do have the concern about some wind gusts could get into that 50-mile-per-hour range, perhaps some hail, nickel-size hail possible within these storms moving in, and then more rain just in general lifting in with this for southeastern North Dakota as well. So this line going to continue to kind of slide its way to the northeast, and that's the area of focus for the potential for more severe storms today. Let's zoom in on that area that's been seeing the rain and thunder. So again, lightning detected here, moving into Sisseton, moving into the Big Stone area. Wheaton again going to be seeing the rain pick up, and then just south of Alexandria, south of Grant County, so a line of storms there too. So again, this is kind of expanding to the east, and that's going to continue to lift to the northeast. And more areas of rain elsewhere. There are some thunderstorms north of Aberdeen. We did have a warning for that area earlier this morning, and there's some lightning there. So that's going to cross over into places like Dickey County this morning as well. So that's looking at the rain and the lightning. Just taking off the lightning data here, we're seeing the heavier rainfall again in the oranges and reds. And then moving on into our velocities, I'm not seeing anything as impressive as when I first set this up, so that's good to see. But, you know, again, we were expecting wind gusts 40, maybe even a 50-mile-per-hour gust potentially. And taking a look at hail track, this might be a little harder to see. You can see that we've got some purple showing up here. That's where hail has been detected with these storms and the track of them over the last hour. We really haven't seen much since then. So again, there is that possibility for hail, but I'm not seeing much impressive here. So that's great to see, at least for the moment. Let's take a look at the radar a little farther north and east from there. Fargo again, north of this area of rain that's lifting northward. So eventually we'll see rain chances increase again for Fargo, Fergus Falls, Wadena. We've had some flooding there. I'll show you that in a moment. Again, the flash flooding in Bemidji, and more rain lifting into that area. Expanding the view completely, you can see that the movement in general, again, moving to the northeast with this latest round lifting in here for today. If you are up around Grand Forks, if you are over by Devil's Lake, it's looking a lot quieter for you, especially around Devil's Lake here. You might see some showers try to creep into Grand Forks, but the Devil's Lake area is looking fairly quiet at this point in time. So again, a range of conditions in the valley that we're experiencing right now. Let's talk about energy. The energy that helps to fuel severe storms is more focused down into central Minnesota, and this is likely to kind of stay in this area. So we're right on the edge here of where we have that greatest energy or potential for an instability for storms to pop, and for just in general the humidity and the heat to help feed those thunderstorms. Again, a little bit farther to the south and east. Just for some analysis there. And let's take a look at our precip estimate. This is over the last 24 hours, so this goes back to about 10:46 yesterday morning. And you can see where that heavy rain band set up from Jamestown back through Mayville, the Ada area, stretching back over to Bemidji. Any areas in yellow are going to be an inch or more of rain estimated on the radar. And let's zoom in a little bit more. You can see some heavier pockets around Ada. We'll show you some reports coming in just a moment that line up with this Mayville area and that higher range. And then back down into the southeastern part of Barnes County, into northern parts of Ransom County. We had some estimates. Again, this is radar estimated, so it's not a measurement, but more than 4 inches of rain estimated there in southeastern parts of around the Nome area of the Barnes County area. So here's a rain gauge that was just sent to us from a viewer in Fort Ransom nearby. Joe sent us this one, and you can see this is about 3 inches here. So we're looking at just under, and you want to measure by the bottom of, it's called the meniscus. It's the bottom of the kind of that rain bubble. It's kind of concave like that. And the bottom is where you want to measure. And so we're looking at just under 3.2 inches of rain that came down so far in Fort Ransom. Thank you so much, Joe, for sharing that. If you've got got a rain report to share, we'd really appreciate hearing from you. I've actually had this posted on our my Facebook page, and we also have this. You can also post here on this video on our Facebook page too if you've got a report to pass along. I'm just going to check and see if we've had any new reports coming in on my page from folks. Looks like we got 2 inches in Lone Lake, 5 miles north of Bagley, so in the eastern part of our viewing area. 1.4, 10 miles east of Crookston. So again, at least an inch of rain fell in a lot of places with this round that saw that band set up. And we're getting more lifting in, as we just saw on the radar. So this is our rain since midnight last night. So basically for today's date, this comes in from the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. I'm going to pull that up full screen so you can see those numbers there. And we had a little over 3 inches around Fort Ransom, Ada area, kind of in those bullseyes I was just showing you. We have seen 2.63 there. The Gardner area about 2.6. Mayville, again, another area where we saw kind of a bullseye of heavier rain, more than 2 inches of rain. Grand Forks has had just under 3/4 of an inch, and Fargo, at least at the site, the Endon site at the NDSU campus, just under 2/10 of an inch. I know other places in the metro have seen a little bit more, but this is associated with Endon. So again, we've picked up quite a bit of rain, and that has added up for a lot of folks here in the valley. We're watching the rivers. Again, we do have that river flood watch in effect for southeastern North Dakota and parts of Minnesota. You can see the Red River in Fargo just ticking up just a little bit. So keeping an eye on that as the rain continues to come down and the water works its way into the system. Now I want to show you that we've gotten approval to share this video. I'm going to show you this from Wadena. Hopefully we can get this rolling here. Bear with me. We've got video of some flooding going on in a parking lot. This is at Gray Petal Floral Company in Wadena. And sorry guys, we'll pull this up. There we go. I'll push play on this. I will let me turn the sound on so you can hear what is being said, and I'll quiet down so we can let this play out. Okay, so yes, again, thank you so much for sharing that video with us from the Gray Petal Floral Company. Again, safety first, love to hear that. And I'm just going to make sure we turn the audio off so no other audio gets played. And we've had some reports of some flooded areas, flooded parking lots, and there was the flash flood warning, there we go, for the Bemidji area earlier this morning. They had some flooding in some of the streets. Urban areas tend to flood really quickly. This time of year, the crops are soaking up a lot of the moisture, so hopefully that's been beneficial and not too much for crops out there with this latest round that we've been seeing. And again, we're looking at more that's impacting us here in the valley as well. So let's take a look at our hour-by-hour planner. We'll take a look at the timing of the rest of the system. So we're going to step out of the way, and you can see that we've got some areas of rain and thunder moving through, and this isn't a perfect example of what we're experiencing right now, but it gives us an idea on timing. This is about 2:30 this afternoon. You can see that potential for severe storms still kind of around places like Alexandria at that point, maybe stretching up to Wadena. So again, might get more rain in that area that's already waterlogged. And meanwhile, up to the north and west, Devil's Lake has been seeing some sun breaking out. Of course, this is an area we're watching out for wildfire smoke. And then as we let that move on, you can see that we start to quiet down into the 5 o'clock hour. Not completely free and clear, but we're watching the rain move on. Temperatures will be ranging from some low to upper 70s today. And again, you can see there's a couple of isolated cells trying to pop up around Langdon and Rolla. I can't rule out completely the possibility for an isolated shower or thunder shower into this evening. And in fact, if we move ahead to late tonight, there's some rain and thunder showers trying to get going, but nowhere near, again, as intense, as widespread as what we've seen the last couple of nights. So a couple of us may wake up to some showers tomorrow morning in those areas. Let's take a look at additional rainfall on top of what we've already seen. You can see that we're looking at the rain more likely in the south and east. Some places may get another ½ inch to an inch of rain, maybe even a little bit more. This particular model goes a little more robust than some other ones, but I wanted to show you that on the high end what's possible. So again, looking out for the possibility for some more significant rain coming down. So a reminder, we are looking, and that's again south and east. It's drier north and west from there. And Fargo may be close to being done. We'll see. We'll see as this moves through, but we have that chance for more rain as we work our way into this next round that's lifting northward. So again, our severe weather impacts, non-severe thunderstorms in the light green area. So again, into tonight, we saw a couple of cells popping up around Devil's Lake. And then during the daytime hours today, Southern Valley, the farther south you go, the greater the risk. So we do have that level 1 marginal risk to slight risk for our viewing area. Again, if you're traveling beyond, it will be an increased risk for you down toward places like Minneapolis this afternoon. Now, looking at our impacts, we're watching out for large hail. We're watching out for wind gusts of 60 miles per hour, and certainly that risk for that flash flooding risk for the valley as well. Tornado risk is low, so that's the good thing here with our chances for precip. Now, I want to talk about the next thing, which is well, let me step out of the way again so we can show you visibility. Wildfire smoke moving in. We've got rain that's affecting visibility in the south. You can see wind or less than a mile visibility. But Northern Valley, we've been seeing some smoke moving in. We've got visibility in Grand Forks at 1.5 miles, Grafton 1.7 miles, 2 miles in Howlett, Cavalier, and in Langdon. So yes, visibility is coming down. And so let's take a look. We'll take this full screen. A look at some of our air quality index reports coming in. This I updated about 30 minutes ago, so this might have changed a little bit since then. But you can see Grand Forks and War Road in the Northern Valley are both in the in that 150 to 160 range, and that puts us in that red or unhealthy category. So that wildfire smoke dipping into the valley and affecting places in the Northern Valley here this morning. And we'll take a look at Grand Forks, our sky cam there, if I can pull that up. There we go. Grand Forks, you know, doesn't look terrible, but you can see there's some haze in the air as you look off to the horizon and look in the distance from the sky cam at UND Aerospace there. So you can see visibility down a bit. We have a little bit of that smoke affecting us in that area for today. And so that's going to be our next focus once the rain chances end, is again now dealing with wildfire smoke. And we are looking out for some of us to be in that orange to red unhealthy air quality category as we continue on during the day. Again, this is more for Northern Valley, and for areas, I'm just pulling up a map here I wanted to show you. For areas in the north, it is going to be more highly concentrated than in the south. And we will pull up this map. Bear with me. It's being very slow to load. Okay. Let me try a different route here. Again, bear with me while I do this, and then I'll pull up the view. We do have good air quality for places like Fargo. We are in the green, so that's something to, I guess, enjoy in the Southern Valley right now. our monitors aren't showing up. I'm going to pull up a different website, see if that can help us see what's going on, because it looks like that website's having a little bit of trouble. This is not a government website, so it's not official, but it does show some, it's a company that sells air quality monitors, and we'll pull that up for you here. And it's showing Grand Forks again in the red. In fact, it looks like we are a little worse than we were when I first checked in. So at 173 for air quality now in Grand Forks, and in places along the border. Again, War Road, one of those places that is from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, checking in at 162. So again, looking at conditions that are not the greatest for air quality as we're watching that smoke starting to move in behind this system. So let me pull up, we'll show you this surface smoke map here. Again, we're looking out for areas in orange, areas in red. Definitely don't want to see purple, but we've seen it from time to time. We're looking for that to be dropping to the south. I'm not expecting the highest concentrations. You can see it's more into the orange category, so more into moderate to high range for a concentration of smoke near the surface. And again, pushing into the northern valley. This is 10 o'clock, 10:30 this evening, and then moving on into tomorrow morning. You can see the plume does push southward. It disperses a little bit, so not as bad as it is right now in the north. We're more to the moderate range in yellow. And then this carries on into Thursday. The plume starts to move eastward, and what the smoke that's left over starts to disperse a little bit more. So I'm hoping that will continue into Friday as we make our way into the week this week. But we do have that air quality alert in effect through the rest of the work week here. I'm going to move on. Let's move on to our planner. We're looking at conditions that are going to be, it's a little something for everybody here. We've got, of course, our first alert weather day today. We've got the chance for some severe thunderstorms. Temperatures that will tomorrow be really nice for July, some low 80s, right around average, some sunshine. The problem is the smoke that may hinder our enjoyment of being outside a little bit more. And then into Friday, another chance for some storms. We've got a marginal risk for eastern North Dakota for severe weather that may linger into early Saturday. And look at that heat, upper 80s to low 90s this weekend. There's going to be some humidity with that. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to the weekend. And the chance for storms again on Sunday that may linger into Monday. And then by the time we get into next week, the last couple of days of July, if you can believe it, we're looking out for the potential for temperatures to be in the upper 70s for that last day of July, that first day of August. So some changes ahead, but we are dealing with storms, that risk for severe, and in addition to that, that possibility for flooding and issues with wildfire smoke streaming in behind this system. Coming up here for us for this afternoon. That's already started for us, some of us this morning again. So I'm just going to pull up our post here, see if we have any comments on conditions that are out there. Someone mentioned that's a trouble spot in Wadena from that video. And then looking at, again, some more reports of rain coming in. You could post those right at in the comments of this video. And we just really appreciate hearing from you on what you experience when we get these kind of rounds moved through, so we know what's going on out there and we can pass that along to other people as well so they can be prepared. But again, continuing to monitor for severe storms, continuing to in the Southern Valley, and monitoring for heavy rain today as well. So, you know, enjoy your Wednesday if you can. We'll be drying things out heading into tomorrow, get a break from the storms, even if we're still dealing with a little bit of wildfire smoke out there too. So in the meantime, have a great day. And if there's any new information, if we have any warnings, you can always get those at VNL.com, ValleyNewsLive.com, our VNL weather app, and of course we'll be on TV keeping you up to date as well.